Kibbe and Finnegan Show, episode number 17, brought to you in the year 2017 by...
Insert here.
Auto Trader, Craigslist, whatever
Diet
else.
Coke.
Diet Coke. This is the year. I do live in the
Dodge.
state of Dodge. Dodge should sponsor this show.
I finally did it today. I hate doing this, but I finally just threw it out there to a friend of mine at Dodge. And
Thank you for doing that.
I was very smooth about it. I said, hey, why don't you come on this podcast that I'm doing with a buddy of mine? And after you have the time of your life BSing about cars and life and the Dukes of Hazzard, why don't you let me pitch you on why you should sponsor the entire thing?
We do a whole show on Dodge products.
Dude, what did you drive? That segment? Totally. We could be driving Dodges. You know, we could whore it out, and I'd be all right with that.
I do have a article in the news about how a Z01, a brand new Z01 Camaro, lost a drag race to a Hellcat.
I've heard that can happen. I've heard.
The Hellcat was an automatic.
2016's been rough.
It sure
and
has.
I don't mean for me. I just mean, think of all the people we've lost that have influenced my life and your life. We lost Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia. We lost George Michael.
Was David Bowie earlier this year?
David Bowie earlier this year. A whole bunch of people in 2016.
Yeah.
Rough year. And like, man, Star Wars? Really? You got to take down somebody from Star Wars? I grew up in the back of my mom's station wagon as she snuggled me into a drive-in theater to watch Star Wars.
I was really hoping this would be on your mind because I went and dug up a ton of facts for all the same reasons. Do you remember the first Star Wars you saw? I really thought about it. What's the third one? Sorry, episode 6. What's the name of that one?
The chronology is always difficult now. Okay, so the first one, A New Hope, is episode, I think it's actually episode 4.
Yeah, that's right. That's
3.
4.
That's 4. 5 is Empire Strikes Back. 6 is Return of the Jedi. And then you have those ones. You have those ones we like to forget about that George Lucas made. You know,
Yes.
1, 2, and 3
Yes.
with Jar Jar.
Return of the Jedi. I saw that in the theater with my parents. I don't remember anything but the Ewoks. That's what I remember really well.
See, and I don't remember the movie itself. I saw Star Wars in a drive-in theater. I don't remember the movie at all. But I remember my mom like popping popcorn on a stove and filling a paper garbage bag or a shopping bag full of popcorn and then smuggling my brother and I and my sister under a blanket in the back of her station wagon into the drive-in. And I don't know why. Maybe we were broke. Who knows? But it was one of those station wagons where the rear seat folded down, and if it was up, it faced the wrong way, and you could yell at people in traffic behind you. You'd make fun of them until your dad pulled over and had to walk 9 miles to get to the back of the wagon to beat your ass. It was one of those wagons. So anyway, so consequently, Star Wars, it was there when I was a kid. I've grown up with it.
It's just Americana. I mean, it's part of our life. There are scenes that you see or words that you hear that you can't ever get out of your mind. How much has been parodied? Like Family Guy has parodied the hell out of it. Speaking of Family Guy clips, there are several that I like, but there's one in particular that it's probably too soon to play it, but it makes me laugh every time. This is
May I have everyone's attention, please? We're evacuating into outer space with literally infinite directions in which to flee. However, we have decided that our transports will travel directly toward the fleet of Star Destroyers. Any questions?
Yeah, is there someone from the military we can talk to? A man, perhaps?
Oh, that show is so great.
I remember seeing that scene like in person, like, who's in charge here? Why are they taking orders from this 19-year-old chick? This is very strange.
Well, because she's a princess.
Yeah, I guess she gets more.
McFarlane is so funny.
Okay,
I follow him on Twitter because he's hilarious. Ooh, that reminds me. Speaking of celebrities,
yeah,
The bully from the movie A Christmas Story,
Yes.
played by Zach Ward,
Mm-hmm.
wants to come on our show.
Listen, jerk. When I tell you to come, you better come. What, are you gonna cry now? Come on, cry, baby. Cry for me. Come on. Cry.
Deep in the recesses of my brain, a tiny red-hot little flame began to grow.
And he's a car guy. And for those of you that don't know his other work, he was the bully Scut Farkas in the movie A Christmas Story, which is a classic Christmas movie. But he was also the idiot brother on Titus.
What the hell happened? Erin told me being in the sack was fun. And she's right. Look what I can do. I'm an inchworm. Man, this is cool.
Stop it!
Which, if you ever remember that, was that late 90s, early 2000s?
Yeah, Stacey-
Christopher Titus, the
Stacey
comedian.
Keach was in it too, I think.
Yeah.
He was the dad.
It was an awesome TV show about an alcoholic father who, had an ex-wife that wanted to kill him, and then a couple of sons that ran a hot rod shop, and you got to see, legitimately cool hot rods on television, and Zach Ward was hysterical in the show. And I messaged him on Twitter, and he's into it.
Holy crap.
Yeah, that'll be our first celebrity interview when it happens.
Well, you're our first celebrity interview.
Yeah, this is like real, not internet stuff.
Oh, okay. Awesome. I'm so excited. That's great. I'll give you a 2017 projection. Do you have a 2017 projection of your own? Not like a celebrity one.
We will record another episode without a sponsor.
Yep. That's probably that unfortunately is probably nuts untrue, but here's my prediction. This show is going to land a sponsor, or two or three, and it's going to go to a weekly format.
Ooh.
That's what I think. So
Frequency.
hashtag sponsor Kibbe and Finnegan. Blatant plug. Share with your friends. So now we can get right to Dukes of Hazzard. Did you watch this episode, Mike?
I did.
And this is a particularly good episode.
Yeah,
This is one of my top
Man.
5 childhood unbelievable memorable. I remembered every second of it, and even while I was pulling audio for it, I may have teared up in a couple scenes.
right, dude. Some
Yeah.
of the best acting we've seen yet, or probably will see again.
Yeah.
Out of the 3 people who can act really well in the show, we got it in this.
Really good episode. If you don't want to go back and watch them all, watch this one. This is The Ghost of General Lee.